morning, everyone. It's quite literally 4 o'clock in the morning. I have not slept since yesterday. I think I woke up around 4 p.m. I'm not sure. I'll be lying. And I've just been up ever since. I ended up having to go to my doctor because I wasn't feeling too good. Everything just got worse. And yeah, it got to a point where my friend literally had to come over and get me in clothes and take me to the doctor. I have a weird relationship with prioritizing my health because it's not something that was done for me growing up. So, and I know it's weird that like, oh my god, you're an adult. Like, obviously, it's something I've been working on, but for whatever reason, I just had it in my head that like I was making up how sick I feel. Like I don't know how to make it make sense, but I was just like, there's really no way. There's just no way. Come to find out. Anyway, guys, I have pseudo cream on my face. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. It's burning like right here and here because I put tretinoin cream on last night, not like the night before last night, right? And I didn't put on last night, so because I just wasn't present. I wasn't doing skincare, nothing, none of that. I took one shower in the morning, it was at the afternoon, and then I tried to go back to bed, and it just so happened that my friend was here at the same time and she dragged me out of bed. Yeah. Fact is, I didn't put on the tretinoin cream when I was supposed to. So I just didn't put it on at all. But my face is burning. I can already but like my skin is purging just a little bit, and the redness and irritation and my skin peeling off, like right here especially. Yeah, I felt it when I put on the pseudo cream. I did do my research to see if like putting on pseudo cream and that interaction with the tretinoin, not at the same time, of course, obviously, but I did research to see if they have like any kind of like negative interactions. They don't, but for whatever reason, my skin is just on fire right now, and I didn't want to use my skin effects. I don't know, I just prefer putting on pseudo cream at night and just like putting it on as a mask, going to sleep. However I wake up is none of my business. Yeah. But anyway, I've been looking at like pictures of my daughter. I miss her. She is 1 and 3 months, almost 4 in a couple weeks. And I just miss her so much, and I just love her so much. I called her earlier and she just made my entire day. So when I was drugged up after I came home, they gave me a shot. It's a sedative, but it doesn't always knock me out like on the spot. So I was conscious for a bit, like as I was going under, and I just remember just waking up in a panic, and I'm thinking like, where's my daughter? So then I'm like texting my group chat, like, where's my baby? I'm texting my partner, where's the baby? Texting my mom, where's my baby? You know. And finally, when I got a hold of my mom and I saw my girl, like, yeah, I just, every time, ooh, I'm gonna get emotional. It's honestly been an emotional 4 days, but it's so overwhelming. It is so overwhelming, and something that I always say is that I don't know if I love my daughter like too much. You get what I mean? I love being a girl mom. I love being a mom in general, but I love being a girl mom. I only have one daughter. How about you? I only have one daughter. I only have one child. I do have a goddaughter, and yeah, it's just the magic of girlhood. I don't know, but I just feel like my baby, oh guys, I just love being a mom, and the love that I have for my daughter is one of the most positively overwhelming feelings in the entire world. It's so hard to put into words, and I think there's this TikToker, Lily Chapman, I think Chapman is her last name. She did get married, and I don't know if she changed it, so yeah. But she was pregnant with her daughter, and after she had her baby, I think, yeah, she was about a week postpartum, she said these words that have never ever, like, I wrote them down, I have them on my blog, I have them written on my phone, like, because they just speak to me. She said, I'm so worried that I'm never going to feel anything but the weight of her love again. And I just feel like when it comes to motherhood, there are no truer feelings. Okay, I don't know if that resonates with everybody, but personally, I just really, really, truly, deeply love being a mom. Like, if, you know, people want to complain and all of that stuff that, like, you can complain about, like, you know, regularly, like, normal basis, fine. But if you want me to hop on the hating motherhood train, not around here. We don't do that here. We do not do that here. I'm just looking at her picture right now. I miss her so much. And yeah, I didn't think that I was gonna go on this random, not random really, but sort of random rant. Is it a rant? I don't know. But about how much I just love my baby. I didn't know it was gonna go in that direction. I didn't want to talk about it, but I didn't know it was gonna go in that direction. And then also just to tie it back to my health. So when I was pregnant, right, I had hyperemesis gravidarum, which is this medical condition, which is really I know that there are worst fates in pregnancy, literally death. I know, but hyperemesis was a beast, okay? In like 3 weeks, I had lost half my weight. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but I think I lost maybe like 30 pounds. I was so small. Everyone is just like, why are you not eating? You're not feeding the baby. What about the baby? I can't. That was one, if not the worst time in my life. Like, it's comparable to what I'm going through in life right now. That's how bad it was. And it was just a lot. Hyperemesis is a lot, and there's a really high chance that if you have it the first time, you're most likely gonna have it any other time that you carry. And by carry, I mean pregnancy, of course. And I do want more kids. In a few years from now, when my daughter is like a little bit older, you know, and life is just, I don't know, maybe has calmed down a bit, but I wanted a very big family because I come from a big family. Like, I have 6 siblings, so I wanted that from my family, like my own family. But I don't think I have that many pregnancies left in me, especially also because I had a C-section. So I don't know if I could have that many pregnancies anyway. But simply because of the HG, yeah, I think I have like 1 or 2 left in me. By 1 or 2, I mean like 1 or 2 pregnancies left in me. But otherwise, hell to the no. Hell to the no. Yeah, I'm just thinking about my baby. I miss her so much. She's my reason for existing. Like, I love her more than life itself. I don't know why I said that, because I don't even fuck with life like that, but you get what I mean. Like, yeah. I made this cup of tea because I was hungry, but I don't feel like eating. I hate being sick. Like, I can barely stomach food right now. I should be wearing my glasses, but because of this mask I've got on, I don't know if I can. Let's see. Let's put this here. Don't judge me, but yeah, I do just toss my glasses in there. It's not really like they work anyway. They're quite old, but yeah, I don't know. Is it just me? Okay, look. When I do this, I feel like my nose looks ginormous. It's just, I don't know why, but for whatever reason, it's just become a recent insecurity of mine that like my glasses make my nose look like Squidward's nose. But yeah, I really hope I can go back to sleep. I really want to get back into painting. I don't have the spirit for any of my hobbies right now. Truthfully, I don't. I'm just so demotivated. I'm just sad. Yeah, I'm extremely sad, and I know that for many people, like, feelings of like sadness, and like it's usually the one time where people are just able to channel that into creativity, but like I'm feeling so stagnant and just even reading. I love to read. I'm currently reading, what is it, Good Morning Love, I think so. I heard about it from the Substack that I was reading. But anyway, I'm just finding it hard to stay consistent with reading or just maintaining any of my hobbies because of everything that's going on in life right now. So yeah, I would love to get back into painting, or just even drawing, sketching, and having it make me feel like I've accomplished something, like not accomplished for like external validation, but more of just like a sense of fulfillment. I hate dry hands. I'm gonna use the body butter that I hate. There is also heavenly scent that I want to try that my friend uses. It's something to do with honey. And she said she's like on her third bottle. So as soon as this one finishes, best believe. But anyway, I wanted to tell you guys about this horrible painting that I made. It's so ugly. It's supposed to be a mom holding her baby. Like it's supposed to be me holding my daughter. I'm gonna change if I ever get like the patience. Oh, I made her hair brown because I ran out of black paint. It's a whole thing, but I want to rematch because I still love the idea of the painting, but the painting itself, I don't know if you can see. It's very questionable. She's not really cute. I think right now I'm gonna try and catch some sleep. This is going to be a bit of a choppy vlog. I didn't intend for it to be. It's just like gonna be like a weekly thing, like a couple of my days just put into one. I think it's Sunday. I may be going out later. I don't know if I feel well enough to be out in public without collapsing. I don't know if I'm at that stage, but yeah. This was my this was not push present. It came with my engagement ring. I didn't even know he had written a note. My fiance wrote me a note. It's Mom, Me, and Mom by Maya Angelou. Listen to this, page 14. She said, Maya, you disapprove of me because I am not like your grandmother. That's true, I'm not. But I am your mother and I am working some part of my anatomy off to pay for this roof over your head. When you go to school, the teacher will smile at you and you will smile back. Students you don't even know will smile and you will smile. But on the other hand, I am your mother. If you can force one smile on your face with strangers, do it for me. I promise you, I will appreciate it. She put her hand on my cheek and smiled. Come on, baby. Smile for mother. Come on, be charitable. She made a funny face, and against my will, I smiled. She kissed me on my lips and started to cry. That's the first time I have seen you smile. It is a beautiful smile. Mother's beautiful daughter can smile. I was still not used to being called beautiful. That day I learned why am I emotional? That day I learned I could be a giver simply by bringing a smile to another person. The ensuing years have taught me that a kind word or a vote of support can be a charitable gift. I can move over and make another place for another to sit. I can turn my music up if it pleases, or down if it is annoying. I may never be known as a philanthropist, but I certainly want to be known as charitable. I think that's a beautiful page to randomly open, because I know what it's like to not used to being called beautiful, and something that, okay, when she was born, I will admit, she was just a baby. She was preterm, very early, did not even remotely look human. She was our little alien, okay, and that is a term of endearment. That's a term of endearment. She was an alien, but once she's finished baking, oh, my baby was just she is the most gorgeous, most beautiful girl I've ever laid eyes on. And because I don't think I heard it enough growing up, something that I do not fail to let my daughter know is that she is so beautiful. And I'm not saying that other qualities aren't important, because when I tell you she is the most curious creature alive, and she is so intelligent, and she is so funny, and I know you might be thinking, how are you saying any of this about a 1-year-old? Trust. Okay, that is not something I would make up. I know a lot of people feel this way about their children, and I completely understand why. Babies are just so intelligent and so full of life, and my daughter is no exception, you know. So yeah, she is everything. She's intelligent, she's so curious, and I don't fail to let her know that, you know, you have a beautiful smile, and that you're beautiful. Like, I call her my beautiful girl, my gorgeous girl, my pretty girl. Like, she knows. And it was so, I think, I don't know, in her baby brain, it started to click to her that, like, I was complimenting her, or, you know, just letting her know what she is. But every time I would say, like, my beautiful girl, she just beams, and she has her daddy's smile. So it lights up her whole, it takes up her whole entire face, and it's the most precious thing I've ever seen. I feel Maya Angelou here on page 14, and I don't want my daughter to ever stop smiling. I know that one day life is gonna sink its ugly claws into her, but not today or anytime soon. Right now, she's just my happy baby, blessed, highly favored, protected, just, you know, a beautiful, curious creature. And my daughter. Anyway, yeah, I am going to try to read on my phone. I don't know if I want, this made me a little emotional, especially after seeing my partner's note. It just made me emotional. So I don't know if I want to read Maya Angelou right now. I think something something light, book talk recommendation. Give it to me now. But otherwise, no Maya for today. But I will keep this in my bag. Yeah, that page 14 really did something to me. Now I'm even cherishing my ugly little painting. Everything about this is absolutely atrocious. The angle is atrocious. The lighting, just everything. My moisturizer has gotten into my skin, so it's always good news. I love good news. So I really want to get into the art of annotating. I used to annotate as a kid, and then like I started learning literature like formally in school, and I just was like, okay, this is for poems and stuff, and it's like so serious and whatnot. Ugh, I just love this photo. I don't know if it's clear, but I love it. I'm just looking for something to use as a bookmark. My mom got me this gorgeous bookmark, and I couldn't even tell you where it is. Not because I don't love it, but because it just always slipped out of, like, I feel like I wasn't using it right. You get what I mean? So I think I'll use Look of Love. Or should I say Beamlet? No. Devotion? No. But I do love the photo. Gorgeous, gorgeous man. Okay. Yeah, I always thought, like, for whatever reason, I just got to a point where I felt like annotating just felt like big people stuff. Like, you need to do it a certain way and say something profound, and you know what I mean? And I didn't feel like I was any good at that. So I'm getting over my fears, and I'm going to start reading the Maya Angelou book. I think I had started it and then I stopped, so I'm gonna get back into it, but I think I'm just gonna start afresh. Just in case I've forgotten it, I have forgotten what I've read. There's no just in case. I know I've forgotten what I've read. Yeah, I'm just gonna start annotating, and you know, I think the only guarantee I have of like a person reading what I annotate is my daughter, and like I would love to give this book to her one day if she ever chooses to become a mother. Yeah, so it would be special to pass down something that her father gave me to her. I don't know, I'm just sentimental. Yeah. Okay, the dedication. It says, I give particular thanks to Vivian Baxter, who generously taught me how to be a mother, allowing me to dedicate this book to one of the most courageous and generous men I know, my son, Guy Bailey Johnson. I mean, did anyone teach me to be a mother? I think there's so much discourse around motherhood, you know, like whether you're ready, not ready, when to do it, when not to do it, like finances, emotional stability, therapy, da 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 da. Like, and yeah, obviously, if you're in a certain financial situation, you won't think about things that other people don't. You get what I mean? I mean that other people do and whatnot. But I just think that from an emotional standpoint, or just really the reason why people have kids, like I always say, when people are having these conversations, I don't even try to include myself. I don't try to involve myself, because I might sound like I'm wishy-washy, or you get what I mean, like my opinions are just all over the place. But my truth is that, like, if you want to be a parent, be a parent. If you don't. Like, it's nobody's business at the end of the day. And then also, if you want to talk about like being ethical, like, look, no one's going to stop you from popping out kids if you want to pop them out. Whether it's wrong or right, you only have one life. Should you subject a kid or child, a human being, to, a life where they're disabled, or, they're just going to be miserable? No, you should not. But yeah, when it comes to discourse about like parenthood, motherhood, I do tend to just keep quiet. Obviously, unless it's a case of like abuse or neglect, or yeah, like I said, I'm never gonna jump on the hate train when it comes to motherhood and parenthood, because I love my daughter so much, and she makes me love being a mother more than anything. Like, she was meant to be my girl, and I was meant to be her mom. Like, that's just how I've come to see it, because she just gives me life. She's not even the lemons I make lemonade out of. Like, no, I didn't need lemons. Like, she's just the tree, my branch, literally. So I don't know if I would say that anybody taught me how to be a mom. I think so much of my parenthood journey has been trying to be the opposite of what I grew up with. You get what I mean? And as I was trying to say, but I always forget what points I'm trying to make, because I'm just like thinking so much. But there is no selfless reason to have children. That's what I was trying to get at. Like, there's no, it's a selfish endeavor. It's a selfish endeavor. Like, the world we live in, it's horrible. There's beauty in it, yes, but there's just so much going on in the world right now that, like, there's absolutely no selfless reasons to have kids. And that's why I'm just like, this is just the world we live in. We are animals at the end of the day. We procreate, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Like, tell her what you must. It really has nothing to do with me. And also, I don't think discussing fertility the way that we do in society is beneficial to anybody, really, because it's people out there that genuinely hate kids. Not the idea of having them, but they see a kid and they just dehumanize them and all of that nasty stuff. And then there's people who are so like misogynistic, like they have this internalized misogyny that they hate on mothers as well. And it's like, and then there's also mothers there's also like mothers and parents who, because of how their parenthood journey is going, they want people to have kids simply so that they have more people to join their misery. Am I saying that parenthood is inherently miserable? No. It is what you make it, to be honest with you. Whether you have a lot in life or you don't, it's what you make it. And I'm specifically talking about like the kind of relationship that you have with your kids and how you relate to them, and how you raise them. There's so much to learn and unlearn, and if you do put in that time and effort, great. If you don't, yeah. But I've never understood people who like, that, okay, the 21 with no kids, that trend that was on TikTok for a while, and then people are like, I'm 22 and I got 3 kids and I'm living the same life. No, you're not. You're not. You are not living the same life as a childless person, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you hate being a parent, like, I'm so sorry. If you hate being a parent, I'm sorry. I there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, unless you give up your parental rights or something of that sort, there's nothing you can do about the fact that, you know, you chose to have kids. And obviously, I'm not talking about people who were put in situations where they had to have the kid. Like, I'm not talking about that. And yeah, I'm talking about people who have kids for nefarious reasons, or you know, they're trying to get back at somebody, like, all, like, for whatever reason. If you hate being a parent, but I feel like, why do you want to convince people that you're living a life you're not living? Like, that's weird. I feel like when you become a parent, you know that your life is going to change, and if you have somehow deluded yourself into thinking that your life is not going to change, that's impressive. But maybe you just don't have that mindset, because it's going to be like having cold water doused all over you. Sorry, just want to put on my glasses because my eyes are hurting. It's not the same life. I'm 25. I have friends. I'm the only person in my friend group with a child. I'm not living the same life as my friends. We have different responsibilities. They don't look down on me. I don't look down at them. Like, I don't understand why I would or they would. Simply because we all have like different choices and decisions and things, we like different paths in our lives. Like, some of my friends know that they never want to be mothers, and I've never been like, why don't you want to be a mom? This is the greatest gift I could have. Blah, blah, blah. No. And there's friends of mine who want to have children way later in life, and I'm not the type of, like, every time I see content like when my friends are on their first kid changing diapers, and what, mine is like, I don't know, an 18-year-old or something, because they decided to have kids later. Like, that's some bullshit. I don't know, like, you see, this is why I opt to not participate in the discourse, because at the end of the day, you have one life. It's yours to live. There's no point in living for anybody else. You want the kid right now, have the kid right now. You want the kid in 20 years, have the kid when you're 30, 60, whatever. Like, it's your life. You do what you want to do with that. Like, don't let anybody pressure you into doing something that you're not ready for. And having a child is life-changing. It's so life-changing. And yeah, I do say that, like, I don't know, I've always wanted to be a mom. Like, honestly, I was one of those girls who just dreamt about being mom. And I'm not saying that I don't have other like ambitions in life or anything of that sort, because I do. And it's because of my daughter. Like, having her, I was so anxious about so many things, and I just never had the courage to do anything I wanted to do. I had my baby, and I was like, I want my child to be so proud of me. I started writing, you know, I started putting myself out there with the NGO work and all of that. Like, I want her to be proud of me, and I am willing to fight my anxiety to have her proud of me, to know that, like, my mom did this, you know. She was more than just my mom, and she accomplished whatever she wanted to accomplish. Ooh, put too much sugar. Nasty. Yeah. Oh, how we got here is, did anyone teach me to be a mom? No. And I love my mom, but no. No. And that is absolutely okay. We all just have different approaches to how we want to do life, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm going to start reading this book. I'm gonna start annotating, and my hope is that one day my daughter is going to read this, if she so chooses that she wants to be a mom, and you know, that will be that. Okay, so I've got some French toast on the stove. It's my comfort food. So yeah, you know, like weird things that you just end up being insecure about. I always feel like I chew really weird. I do wish there were some strawberries in this mix. They would have been so good right now. But anyway, so I told you guys at 4 a.m. that I just wasn't ready to read this book. And then I said, I'm starting this book. I started annotating. Currently using this as a bookmark. I'm on page 70. It's a small book, but with annotating, like the girl that I was watching, I don't want to butcher her name, but I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Anais. She was talking about like the art of annotating and like just taking in a book by, you know, reading it slowly and all of that jazz. And I was like, yeah, this is really slowing me down. And I just love underlining. I have gone crazy with the underlining. I think like I just went a little bit overboard with this one line where she says, yes, I'm ready to go. So she was talking about, where did my bookmark just go? Oh. She was talking about how they were in the South and her brother was like reaching an age where, you know, him finding like white girls attractive or them finding him attractive would be a danger to him. Despite the fact that like she really loves her grandmother, she's like her safe space, living with her is her safe space, it's her comfort zone, but she has to do this even though she doesn't want to for her brother. And it just made me so upset because, you know, she's been through a lot with the rape and all of that stuff, and then like you're finally at a place of comfort and you can't even remain comforted because you have to think about somebody else. I know that like the essence of love is willing to inconvenience yourself, but it just made me sad. Made me sad for our girl. So what I'm doing is I don't want to dirty anything else up, and I'm just gonna toss this in the air fryer so that I have a little meat situation going on, some protein, you know what I mean? But obviously there's protein from the eggs, but I don't know. I just have to have chicken with my French toast. That's just me. There is just something about garlic, y'all. I love garlic. Garlic really elevates whatever it is that you're making. Whatever I eat, gonna have some garlic in it. Okay. Should we do squares? By the way, I just wanted to put it out there that I don't appreciate this. I just feel like cinnamon should, I mean, I know that they come in like glass bottles. This is cheaper, so obviously I'm gonna get the cheaper option, but I just feel like they should make the cheaper option in something, you know, you can easily like maneuver. Just saying. I made absolutely no room for my fruit, so I'm gonna have to shuffle this to the side. Shuffle it to the side. Yeah. It's not as cute anymore. I'm not with Metro anymore. I am with AT&T. Yeah. We're just waiting on our y'all. So let me tell you something about me. Something about me is that I will always burn myself with hot sugar. Do I want to? No. But does it happen? Yes. I wonder if like you're watching this and you're like, wow, why is she doing, you know, whatever. But anyway, the garlic oil, I love garlic oil more than like the actual garlic itself. It's so aromatic. I just love fragrant food. I love it, I love it. So, anybody who makes a simple syrup, you can't add vanilla. We don't have that. So it's literally just equal parts sugar and water. And normally you want to boil it on the stove, but because of time and energy, I just find it easier to use the microwave. Yeah. My fruit bowl is looking a little sad because I have been stabbing away at fruit. I'm gonna go eat now and continue reading my book over there. I'm so annoyed. Woo. I don't eat like a lady. Like, there's nothing prim and proper about it. Like, you know, sometimes I really want to be elegant, but I can't control the monster I turn into when I am enjoying something that I'm eating. Like, like, hold me back. You know, so good. So good. Bow, bow. I'm on page 71 of Mom and Me and Mom. Here it says Mom and Me. So if you hear me calling it Mom and Me, yeah. And I just underlined the bottom of the last paragraph on page 71 because I think it's really beautiful. But before I start reading to you guys, let me know, is it lapel or lapel? I like saying lapel. I have heard people say lapel. Do I care? Honestly, no. But I don't want to be embarrassed because I'm easily embarrassed, especially about like, mispronouncing things. But anyway, here I'm gonna go ahead and say lapel. I don't like how it rolls off the tongue, but something just tells me, you know? I prefer to say label, honestly. Anyway, she wrote, on the day we moved from her house, Mother liberated me by letting me know she was on my side. I realized that I had grown close to her and that she had liberated me. She had liberated me from a society that would have me think of myself as the lower of the low. She liberated me to life, and from that time to this time, I have taken life by the lapels, and I have said, I'm with you, kid. And I feel like when you're growing up, especially as a teenager, you feel so misunderstood, you know? And like that's a time in your life where you will butt heads with your parents, like regardless of the relationship you have with them. I think it's just part of the cycle, especially in adolescenthood, you know what I mean? So for her to have come to this place where her and her mother were like in a good space, they had a really good relationship and she felt supported by her, and enough to even call her mother, because she did say that she called her mother lady because she didn't look or feel like a mother, but she looked like a lady, so she called her lady. But she wrote here, I had called lady mother. I knew she had noticed, but we had never mentioned that incident. We had never ever mentioned the incident. I was aware that after the birth of my son and the decision to move and to get a place for just the two of us, I thought of Vivian Baxter as my mother. And I think that is just so beautiful, because when your mother doesn't raise you, acknowledging that she's your mother is one thing, but feeling like she's your mom is another thing. And though, you know, Maya Angelou is from a different time. She was talking about World War II in here. So it was just so profound to me that she wrote that she liberated her by letting her know that she was on her daughter's side. And that the line, she liberated me to life. When you're a girl, you don't want judgment from your mother. And I think for me, now that I'm a mother, I always like hope that I'm never going to be that parent that, you know, when your child comes up to you and it's not something you want to hear. You know, I don't want to be those parents that are like immediately all bark and bite and not really trying to make a safe space, or you know what I mean? Like, I always want to create an environment where my kids will be able to have a conversation with me about anything and everything. That's just always been like a dream of mine, because I didn't have that. I'm just gonna say I didn't have that. And when I look at my friends and the relationship that they have with their mothers, it's something to envy. Like, obviously everybody has issues with their parents, like that's fine, but at the root of it all, it's like there's a deep love there, you know, and they have somebody to confide in, somebody to cry to. And I would like to say that I go to my mom for everything, you know, and my mom is like in her early 40s, but she acts like an old lady in her 60s or something, you know. I mean, she's a village girl at heart, which is fine, but like, she's a millennial. She's an older millennial, I kid you not. But yeah, so a lot of the things that we talk about is just me forcing them on her, like, we're actually going to have this conversation. I remember this is gonna be embarrassing, but the first time I had sex, I don't even think I was nervous to tell her. I just ripped off the band-aid and I was like, I had sex. And she was just too stunned to speak, you know. I was like, yeah. And my mom is like proper, that she'll be like, these aren't, so like, you don't have to tell me everything. You don't have to tell me everything. And I was like, you gonna hear it though. I mean, I have gotten to a point where I really don't tell her everything now. Yeah, just because like things have been happening in my life where I just feel I have to close up a bit. Just circumstance, I guess. But yeah, I really want my daughter to be able to tell me anything that's happening in her life, anything that's weighing on her, and I want to liberate her, you know, in the same way that Maya Angelou felt liberated by her mother. And something that my partner and I always say is that, like, our daughter is just her own person. She is well and truly her own person. And it's so beautiful to see. It's beautiful to witness, because yeah, obviously she still needs me. She's a baby, you know, but when you just see her start to do things by herself and just have a mind of her own, and you know, it's the transformation. And just seeing somebody grow up when she was a preemie, like I said, so she quite literally fit in the palm of her daddy's hand. His hand is significantly bigger than mine, but she was 1,500 grams. She was so tiny, and to see how vocal and curious and intelligent and hilarious she is, I will always let her know that she does not owe me anything. I think the both of us have that, you know, under lock and key, that our children don't owe us anything. So I never want her to feel like she's tied down to me or to her dad. She's her own person. She'll always be her own person, and we'll always be there, of course, if we're needed. But her autonomy is something that we both have a deep respect for. I just get so emotional talking about her. This book is really bringing it out of me, I won't lie. Oh, stop it. Guys, so it's this photo, right? That's Maya Angelou and her mother, I think. I don't want to be wrong. It could very well be Mrs. Jefferson that she's talking about here. I don't know. But the quote says, I will look after you, and I will look after anybody you say needs to be looked after any way you say. I am here. I brought my whole self... I brought my whole self to you. I am your mother. And obviously, as a daughter, you think about if it's not like the best, you think about the relationship with your maternal figures and your mother, and you just start to think about the kind of life that you would have wanted and the kind of life you want to give your daughter if you ever have a daughter. So, I don't know, it's just something about reading that line about I brought my whole self to you, I'm your mother. It just feels like you understand that. I don't know why the fuck I'm crying. Wow.
But you understand that, like, with motherhood, there's a level of surrendering that you have to do. It's not about you anymore. It's about this little person in front of you. I don't know what that quote is in relation to. I'm sure I'm gonna read about it as I keep going, but I don't know what specifically she was talking about, but the words moved me because I'm always thinking, you know, like, she's my baby, like, I am her mother, and I'll always be there if she needs me. I think not everybody always knows that their mother is there when they need their mother. So, yeah. I'm gonna continue eating so I can stop being emotional.